What's up, fellas? So a few weeks ago I went to my LFS and I bought 3 more green chromis, and if you've seen some of my past videos you know that I haven't had the best luck with my quarantine tank, but so far these guys have been doing really good in there, which I'm really happy with. So I really think it has to do with stress, with just moving them and giving them that safety stop path. I skipped that this time and they've been doing really good. So well, they've been doing good up until about a week ago. So I had them in the quarantine tank for, it was about 3, maybe 3.5 weeks, and I started noticing the biggest one of the group, he started picking on the smaller one, and he got so aggressive towards that little guy that he eventually killed him. Now, they hadn't quite reached their full quarantine time, but I went ahead and scooped up those last 2 and moved them into the display tank because he was starting to pick on the next smallest guy now. And I didn't want him killing him and just having 1 fish left. So it was pretty close to the end of the quarantine time, so I just figured, what the hell, I'll just move him in here. And with that group of them, hopefully it'll diffuse the aggression a little bit. And they've been in there now for a week or 2, and they've all been doing really well. The smallest one's not getting picked on quite as much. He still gets picked on by a few of the bigger guys, but he's doing okay. But they've all been eating really well, and they're all gaining some size and overall doing pretty good. But I think I'm pretty much done getting green chromis. Originally I wanted a group of 7 or 9, and this only gives me 6, so it's close enough, but it seems more hassle than it's worth because they just keep beating up on each other or dying in the quarantine tank. So I'm just gonna stick with these 6 and see how it goes. I don't really feel like dealing with more. As for the other guys, my red firefish Gizmo's doing pretty good. Not much has changed with him. And my foxface rabbitfish, Captain Hastings, he's quickly becoming my favorite. He's gained a lot of size since I got him, and he's also gained a lot of girth. Not like fat, but he's just thicker, you know? He's like, it's like a healthy thickness, I guess. But one of the things that I really like about him is lately, when I come up to the tank, he's the only fish that actually comes up. He'll like come up to the glass and look at me. He's like saying hello, or maybe he's just begging for food, I don't know. But it's pretty cool. He's kind of becoming like the little pet dog of my aquarium. He's just starting to develop a lot more personality than my other fish. So the tank itself has been up and running for just over 6 months now, and I gotta say I'm really itching for some corals. I've been looking online at lots of easy beginner corals, and I'm just getting really excited. But before I do, I really want to make sure that I can maintain stable water conditions. I don't want to get them in there and then have issues and have to try to fix it while my corals are dying off. So I thought maybe I'll get some 2-part and I'll start dosing the tank and just get used to that aspect of it. But just before I was actually going to buy it, I decided maybe I should actually test my water first, because who knows, maybe the calcium magnesium are actually in line and I don't have to dose it. And that's an important thing, to not dose your tank with anything until you actually know if you need to dose it. So I decided to bust out my sulfur, calcium, and magnesium test kits. Now, I've had these things for like 2 or 3 months now, but I just haven't thought to test for these until just recently. So I went ahead and tested them, and the results were actually pretty surprising to me. My calcium was actually spot on. I was really surprised. I thought it would probably be a little bit low. And my magnesium was actually pretty high. A little bit higher than where you want it to be. And at first I was a little bit confused, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. You see, my tank has a very low demand for calcium and magnesium because it's pretty much just fish. And a lot of salt mixes will actually be supplemented with things like calcium. So every time I would do a water change, I'd be adding some of those elements into the tank, and not a lot were getting used up. So really it's no wonder that my results were higher than I was expecting. But my alkalinity is still a little bit low. So instead of getting the entire 2-part kit, I just went ahead and bought the soda ash. That way I can just mix it up and dose it into my tank as needed until the levels are where they need to be. Then I'll just try to maintain stable water conditions through dosing, testing, and regular water changes. And hopefully before long I can get my first corals. But in the meantime, there's a few more things I want to get. So I'm thinking tomorrow I'm gonna head to my LFS and do some shopping. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this update on the reef tank. I gotta go because I have a lot to do. I have to scrub some algae, I gotta do a water change, clean out my skimmer, just all the things. So if you have any questions or comments, put those down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.